Now I want to talk to you about something called tuning. Being in tune means that you are in the dead center, the bullseye, of the note that you're trying to play. If you're a little bit high to that, we call it being sharp, and if you're a little bit low to the pitch, we call that being flat. And you don't want to be either of those. You want to be right in tune in the center of the note. So I want to show you what it sounds like if you're sharp or if you're flat. We're going to take the note concert F or our G, which is fingered just open. There's no valves necessary for this note, but it's a little different than the C that we learned before. So here is the note G in tune. Nice and pretty, right in the center. Now, if we're a little bit sharp, it's going to sound a little higher than that and a little bit pinched and squeezed, kind of like this. You hear how the tone kind of gets small and it sounds a little bit tight? That's being sharp. We want to bring that back down into the center. Now, if you're flat to the note, that means you're under the pitch. You're a little bit low, and that sounds something like this. Now, you notice how the sound kind of sounds deflated or flabby. That's because we're flat. So we want to bring that up into tune. You hear how when we get back to the center, the sound opens up and sounds really beautiful? That's where you want to play all the time. To show you what that sounds like in a piece of music, we're going to play a little excerpt from Rollin Along from your song list, and I'm going to play one note specifically very flat. And I want you to see if you can figure out which note I'm playing very flat. Pretty obvious, right? That last one was super flat and it doesn't sound good. You wouldn't want to listen to that. So we need to use our ear to bring that right back into tune, like this. You hear how the sound is just much prettier when it's in tune? That's how you want to do it. Another thing that you can use to help you learn how to play in tune is something called a tuner. A tuner is basically a device or an app that will help you figure out whether you're sharp or you're flat with this visual signal here. Basically, there's a lot of different kinds of tuners, but on this one, you have this dial that kind of goes back and forth and lets you know whether you're high or low to the center of the pitch. And when you get the pitch right in tune, the little triangle here in the middle turns green. Check it out. You see how it turns green when I get to the middle? That means I'm in tune. Now, there's a difference between being perfectly in tune with a tuner and being in tune with your bandmates. Sometimes intonation or tuning is relative to the people who you're playing with, or the place that you're playing, or the style that you're playing. So the most important thing is that you listen, you use your ears to make sure that your pitch is lining up with the pitch of the people around you. Now, we've talked about tuning with your ear, but it's also very important to know how to tune the instrument itself. This slide that all trumpets have right here is called our tuning slide. And you guessed it, that's how we get our instrument to be in tune. If you pull it out, the pitch goes down, so you go flatter. If you push it in, the pitch goes up, so you go sharper. So let's say you take your trumpet out and the slide is all the way in. And you play your G like this. Well, you might be in the center of the pitch where it is on the instrument, but that's going to be really sharp to your friends in band. So what you want to do is generally put your tuning slide a little bit of the way out like that, and then you'll be closer to being in tune. However, if you play it there and the pitch is still too high, you just pull it out a little bit more. Or if it's too low, you push it in a little bit more. And that's how we get our instrument to be in tune. So there's two ways that we're tuning. We're tuning with our ear and our embouchure, and we're tuning our instrument. When all of those elements come together, the instrument being in tune, your ear being in tune, and your embouchure being in tune, then the songs will sound how they should. Nice and pretty, like it should be.